reality games we're going to get are even less of a gameplay experience than Pokemon Go. Because at least with Pokemon Go, you're managing all the Pokemon that you get.
Yep.
And you have these options like Pokemon Let's Go happening. But overall, I mean, the announcement gets even worse when you consider the fact that at E3 this year, another prominent game franchise got announced by EA to be going to mobile, and that would be Command and Conquer. You know Command and Conquer, don't you?
Yes, I do.
So back in the RTS days, there was one competitor to Blizzard, and that was Westwood Studios, the creators of Command and Conquer. That's the funniest thing about this whole deal, is that EA literally had the audience implode on them because of Command and Conquer Rivals. So much so, it actually started Patrick Soderlund on his eventual retirement from the company, because that was the first dumb comment he made.
Right.
Was in regards to Command and Conquer Rivals. So that happened. You'd think Blizzard would look at that and go, we probably shouldn't make an announcement like that. And you make an announcement like that.
Yep.
You take Diablo and you make it a mobile experience, and you can't tell me there won't be microtransactions to it. That's why you're taking it to the mobile market.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
That's the reason any prominent company right now, AAA, AA, whatever you want to call them, that's why they go to the mobile market. That's why Konami went to the mobile market. That's why Sega's considering the mobile market. That's why Capcom tried to consider the mobile market. It's because they can get additional money through microtransactions.
That's right.
So of course that's going to happen, but here's the other thing that I'm just going to point out for all the people going, it's still going to be good. It's still going to be Diablo gameplay on a phone. No, it's not, motherfucker. And you want to know how I know it's not going to be that? Is because unlike your PC and unlike consoles where they can focus on that one task, your phones at any given moment have 35 to 40 apps running at any given time. That takes a lot of the supercomputer processing power out of the hardware. You are not going to be able to run that, motherfucker, on that particular... I'm cursing a lot today.
Jeez.
You're not going to be able to run that the way that you think you will. And I don't need to play a demo station to know that. I've played enough wonky-ass mobile gameplay to know they can't pull this crap off. Are mobile phones as powerful as people say they are? I'm debating. I don't think that they're up to par with modern day PCs, especially if you're a PC master race and you just get every ounce of resources out of it. I don't think that they're that. But again, you have how many apps running on a smartphone at a given occasion? You have map apps, you have Safari, you have email. Like, I'm talking the average people, guys. You have the texting app, which is the messenger app that is on any phone. It is an app that is being run and taxing resources. People are checking the weather. People are checking YouTube. All of those have respective apps. Those are on all the time. So, and most people who have an iPhone do not know how to turn them off. So no, Diablo Immortal is not going to work that great on phones. And if they had just announced that this was coming to PC and also to the mobile market, it might have saved this announcement. I'm actually going to say right here and now, it might have saved that damn announcement. Because at least at that point, PC fans might have been satiated. But no, you said strictly mobile. And that's what killed it. That's why on Twitter it is trending RIP Diablo.
Yeah, I feel bad for the Diablo fans out there. I definitely do.
What's funny is that I can't think of a cause that united the Diablo fan base better than this. Because up until this point, there was a wedge in the fan base. There were hardcore Diablo 2 fans that refused to play Diablo 3. They thought it was too Care Bear for them.
Yeah.
Okay? And so at that point, you had a debate going on in the fan base of like, which was better, Diablo 2 or Diablo 3? And it actually was an honest debate. Now you have a movement on Twitter of, we don't care if you like Diablo 1, 2, or 3. We all need to come together and say Diablo Immortal is stupid. That's amazing to me. Because you can't get Diablo fans to agree on really anything. I just barely, before watching BlizzCon, I saw like some of the debates that were happening when the Necromancer was announced for Diablo 3. And how Diablo 2 fans didn't like that. Because it wasn't the Necromancer they knew. And yet now they're all united under a common cause to just absolutely shit on Diablo Immortal.
Yeah.
Jiminy fracking. Yes, by the way, even though I'm the only Blizzard fan and all that stuff, this is probably going to make the podcast because this, and it's not just because of Blizzard stupidity here. This has got to stop. Like, it's very clear when a big and before people jump down my throat, do I think that this was a Blizzard decision? Hell no. This was an Activision one. Activision imposing their will yet again on Diablo and screwing the fan base as well as screwing Blizzard. I'm thoroughly convinced that the devs, they tried their very hardest to sell this, but even they couldn't possibly calculate the level of hatred that was going to come from this announcement. Mm-hmm. There's no way, because even they kind of laughed it off and went, yeah, they're pissed. But why should Alex care about this? Well, first of all, he wouldn't be able to play Diablo Immortal.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be able to play it because he doesn't have a smartphone.
That's right.
So if you were a hardcore Diablo fan, you're screwed.
I'd be pissed if
Yeah. And what made that even better is, so we've had this debate before, and regarding J. Allen Brack, the new CEO of Blizzard.
Yeah.
Making a statement that you didn't like, which was in regards to now WoW Classic, where he basically said you don't want that. You think you want that, but you don't want that. And I've told you for a while now, like, there was way more context to that statement than was actually reported. And I just barely showed you the statement that was made by Wyatt Chang, the director of Diablo Immortal. And I think you're in consensus, Alex. This is worse.
Yeah.
Because at least with J. Allen Brack, there was consensus. Or there was other stuff after that statement.
Fuck.
But no, Wyatt Chang's answer to everybody about whether or not this is a PC port is, you got phones, right?
You all got phones, right?
Y'all got phones, right?
Sure, but, like...
Not him!
Yeah, I don't.
Not him, motherfucker! He doesn't have those! Some people don't actually want to spend $500 for a phone!
Some people can't afford it. Not everybody lines up to
Some
buy
people
the
don't
latest
want to. Some people just think that they don't need it.
Yeah.
For crying out loud, it was, what? The first ever Galaxy phone when I finally got a smartphone. So that was like 4 or 5 iterations of the iPhone that had come out that I had never bought. Because I didn't need it.
Oh, I've never seen this before, actually.
Titled Proof of Ethical Consumption Under... Oh.
It's a large, heavy book titled Proof of Ethical Consumption Under Capitalism. The pages are all blank. Oh.
That's because you didn't actually find a good book on it. Anyway. Yeah, I'm that guy, guys. Capitalism, it just fucking works. And by the way, future editor Drak, I know that you're probably going to be flipping me off right now, but could you find the Scrooge McDuck picture? Thank you. Every time people make fun of capitalism, I always find that out of the ether. Is capitalism, it just fucking works. But yeah, so I mean, if you were a Diablo fan, you'd be host right now. Absolutely host. All because Blizzard doesn't want to make you a PC version. Which I can guarantee you, by the end of this BlizzCon, I'm giving them a week before they say, you know what? There's a PC version. Because they're trying to get all the hate off their backs.
For once, we have the whole storybook.
Oh, the tale of Queen Vanessa.
Once upon a time, there was a prince and princess that were deeply in love.
And had no eyes.
Jeez. The princess was loved by many in her village and kingdom. Until one day the princess saw her prince with another lady.
With red hair.
With beautiful red hair. Ooh. She saw the prince holding hands with this beloved woman. The princess was heartbroken over this. Why would her prince betray her? The prince noticed Vanessa running off in a hurry, but the prince wasn't holding hands with the woman. He was merely paying her for some flowers for his beloved. The prince tried to reason with Vanessa, but she wouldn't listen. Yeah, notice how she slashed his face up. It's creepy.
Yeah.
The princess had the prince taken away to the dungeons. All the while, Vanessa was consumed by her dark anger and grief.
And all the while making Cylon troops by your command, Supreme Leader.
The prince was forever shackled in the dungeon, never to be seen again. And Vanessa, ruled with wicked whimsy, became a dark shadow of her former self. God, it's so depressing for a game like this.
K2SO, can we have a Prozac? No? Okay. Well, if this makes you feel any better, Alex, I just barely checked the Diablo Immortal cinematic trailer. At a whopping 1.4 million views. Oh, sorry. We have Mustache Girl on the screen. What's she gonna do? Should we be worried?
Intruder alert.
Uh-oh. This is not gonna end well.
All right, I'm in. I made it. I infiltrated that kid's spaceship without the alarms going off. I bet she's collected a ton more timepieces than I have. Now where does she keep them?
Forgot you did this. Okay.
Oh, you know what? Another minor difference. In the PC version, you actually will, like, see where Hat Kid is. You'll just see, like, a big icon floating around, and you'll see, like, where she is. Doesn't make a big difference, because you can't, like, go see her or anything. But,
Anyway, so just pointing this out, I just barely went to the Diablo Immortal cinematic trailer. At a whopping 1.4 million views, there are 9,300 likes to almost 300,000 dislikes
yeah,
on it.
It's pretty hated.
It's
This must be where she stores them all. Time to mess with time a little.
And I actually like one of the comments that just barely got dropped. Blizzard, do you guys not have phones? The people, hey Blizzard, do you guys not have brains? Oh, burn.
Yeah.
I'm grabbing that comment later.
Dun, dun, dun. So we could go to the final level if we want, but we got a whole nother world to explore.
We
and
can.
Look, now we're green and blonde. We got a little dye job.
It's actually kind of creepy.
Yeah.
you look like one of Santa's elves from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Kind of weird.
Oh.
You did not find it. You thought you were gonna find it, but you didn't.
There we go. Ah, so,
Oh yeah, so it just does the same diary entry.
yeah. It only changes for like actual levels, not for time rips.
I'd also just like to point out that doing just a regular Diablo Immortal search comes up with now way more YouTubers giving their opinions on Diablo Immortal than the actual trailer.
Yeah.
Jiminy Christmas, guys. And the sad reality is, like, a lot of the other announcements at BlizzCon have been pretty good, considering. It's just, unfortunately, this BlizzCon's going to get remembered for the one thud that happened.
Oh, okay. Well, I never noticed the washer and dryer there before, so I was starting to think maybe it was added for the DLC. Because this is where you'll go to the extra level for the DLC pack. It's down here in the basement. So, I just never noticed the washer and dryer before, but it's always been
Now,
there.
I'm just going to go ahead and be honest here. I'm excited that we're finally doing this one, because
Alpine
there's something
Skyline.
I want to point out to people.
Yeah, this is a fun level.
So, welcome, everybody, to Alpine Skyline.
Alpine Skyline.
And it's free roaming.
Free roam.
So we're gonna stop talking about Diablo for a second, just because there's something I want to showcase to everybody why I do give some mad props to this game. Because as one of the things that Alex loves about this game is you can mess around in the spaceship, right?
Yeah.
And what you don't realize is that there's actually very clever game design in the spaceship. They wanted you to mess around with it. Why? Because it actually teaches you how the mechanics work within the game. Specifically, one of the things that you love doing, Alex, so much so that we actually started a recording session with it, is playing around with the chandelier.
Yeah.
And hookshotting the chandelier. And what a lot of people didn't realize was it was actually trying to teach you. This was the game designer's subtle way of teaching you how mechanics in Alpine Skyline work. So for all the people that think like, oh, game design is so freaking easy, yeah, you
right.
go do it sometime. You have no idea the level of psychological elements that actually have to be added into a game to teach the player how to play it.
Yeah.
Because just because it plays like Mario doesn't mean it's exactly a copy of it.
Look, I mentioned this before, that when I was in high school, we had to, like, build our own little point and click games. That was hard.
Yeah.
It was fun, but it was pretty hard.
But why was it hard, Alex?
Because I had to construct all the elements, and of course I have to, yeah.
And you also had to, so you did a point and click adventure. You had to construct the logical progression of your story.
Yes.
You had to explain why if you did this, you ended up here. So there's a lot more into game design than anybody wants to give people like Gears for Breakfast any credit. And why I look you in the eye and go, you do it sometime.
Exactly.
Because even a AAA game, like, they have to have this kind of frame of thought. You have to, unfortunately, they don't have that frame of thought that much anymore. It's pretty easy, actually, to develop a game like Fortnite. I'm just saying. There's not a whole lot there. But if you're going to prepare people for a 3D world element that you want to put in like this, you have to figure out, how am I going to teach the player how to do that? And how did Gears for Breakfast do it, Alex?
They taught us throughout the game, throughout the levels, and in the spaceship.
They taught you in the spaceship, the most subtle way possible. For that alone, I give massive props to Gears for Breakfast. And that's acknowledging over time, like, you guys are going to see this. I even put it out in the boss fight for the conductor. We have disagreements with Gears for Breakfast.
Yeah.
We both can come to an agreement that their implementation of console versions has been kind of lackluster. If they'd stuck with PC, that would have been fine.
Yeah.
But then they do stuff like this that makes them stand out as an upcoming developer, that makes you kind of forget that. This is why I have no problem waiting for another game by Gears for Breakfast, because I know they've got the chops.
Have you seen the purple flowers growing around here? I'd keep your distance. Something seems weird about them to me.
So welcome to Alpine Skyline. This is kind of like, I like to call this the Click Clock Wood of
That's good. That's about right. Yeah.
Twilight Bell is
I didn't think about it that way when I played through, but yeah, no, I can see that.
Just because it's kind of the last real world, and it's really large.
Really large, really spread apart, but also very satisfying to get around.
shiny thing.
I'm just gonna say that right here and now.
I also love this music a lot. It makes me, I feel like I
Very
should be
peaceful.
should be playing like,
Twilight Bell is
I feel like I should be playing Xenogears or something. It's like,
And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, da-da-da-da-da-da. In fact,
we
Future
got
Drak,
the
can you put
stop
that?
yard.
Can you put that in really quick?
Let's see. I wonder if I can construct my new. I'm just 4 short.
Only 4?
4 more yarn balls to go, which I really love. I don't know. I'm sure I've praised it before, but I got praised again. I love the fact that you can just collect any old yarn and it goes towards your quota. You don't have to like find 20 different.
Yeah, I was
pieces of
kind of worried about it when I reviewed initially, like saying if you keep this specific Gears for Breakfast, people are gonna have issues. And then as soon as I found out, no, you can use the yarn however you want, I was like, that's the better idea. That's what you should do, because that's going to encourage people to try and find them. Whereas if you have to find the specific ones, then everybody will wait till the end to grab them, and they'll only grab the hats and patches that are going to benefit them in completing the game.